Billy Bash here, and I want to talk about how well the Dragon has done over the weekend after Toylanta. Toylanta was this weekend. It was fantastic. If you have where you're in the area and can go next year, or if you want to just like make it a trip, a plan there, it was fantastic. In 2026, definitely plan on going because like the new venue, the new area there has where it was easy to get around. It was easy to do stuff after the show. There was plenty of room to have where you hang out after the fact at the hotel, at the con hotels. The convention center itself, the gas convention center, had where it was huge. It didn't feel cramped. You didn't have where you're like, oh no, I'm nuts to butts. People are in my space if I don't want it. No, it had where it was well thought out, well set up, and it was very well run. So shout out to Brett Barton and his team because they put on a fantastic con, and I cannot wait to like go to it again next year. So check that out, make some plans. But Beyithirr and the Dragon campaign there, so it had really good numbers this weekend, and I had where I was like, it's going to get a bump from Toylanta, and it really did. So on Friday, the numbers were reported. Friday has where the numbers are from the day previous, so it's Thursday. Thursday had where it was the initial kind of early setup to get everything ready for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So people, press and just like other vendors and stuff like that got to see stuff getting set up and everything, and that had where it builds a buzz. Friday they have like the early bird VIP press stuff going on there. It's only open for a couple hours, but that has where it built up more. Saturday and Sunday is where you get your real numbers for the con, and they had it set up so you can like do the QR code to order Beyithirr. They had Beyithirr there. They had all the unlock figures. They had the wings. They had the fire effect, the alt head, the ring. They had the custom made display base where Beyithirr was on it. It had where it was that full presence there, and I think that really kind of pushed this last bump right here before the end because now Beyithirr has 6 days left. We're gonna see here. We're gonna do some numbers. Let's see what's going on. So Friday, there was 2,232 orders at the end of the day for at the beginning of the day for Beyithirr. To today, there was 274 more orders there. So it's jumped up to 2506. So Sir Benegar soft good and accessories have where it's unlocked. Everyone's getting it who has where they buy the dragon. So if you order Beyithirr the dragon, you get Sir Benegar and you get his accessory pack. So that's freaking fantastic. The fiery breath effect had where it was already, dominating and it's doing friggin' awesome. It went from 1383 on Friday to 1675 now, so that's 292 more sold this weekend, more than Beyithirr because like this one you can potentially just buy by itself to have where you do like a diorama and get that awesome burning night. Now the epic wing set had where it was like it kind of blew me out of the water there because I thought it was going to take a little bit longer for this to get unlocked here. So at 1,000 originally it unlocked. It was at 1,080 on Friday. Over the weekend, it sold another 206 orders, putting it over the threshold to have where it unlocks the Ashen Zombie upgrade set. So it's at 1,286. So you get the wings, the Ashen Zombie, the extra heads, hands, sword, shield. He's got a mace too that he came with right before. So that's completely unlocked. You're getting it all if you have where you order the epic wing set. Now let's take a look at these numbers just a little bit closer. Just a little. That was a 5 day span there. So over 5 days, it had where it did these numbers. Now I'm just going to focus on Beyithirr because Beyithirr has where it needs to unlock the Ashen Skeleton, the Ashen Skeleton accessories pack, and now we have the silhouette for Beyithirr's Fury, the one of the soldiers in the group that's under Sir Benegar, and this is it's looking really cool. But the numbers so far, just going off like how the numbers is at right now. The numbers has been like the days has been up. It's been up for 25 days. It's been running. If you divide the numbers, obviously it's it's not exact. It's an average here. It's about 100 ish a day. 100 ish a day have been sold. That's the average here. If we take that average, go over the remaining days. There's about, if we go off the average, there could be about another 600 sold. So we could end up having where we get the Ashen skeleton by the end of this campaign. But again, this is just the average there. There are still people who have where they will have waited this entire time. The people who have where they, had been on the fence this whole time. But the average is about 100 a day. So I'm expecting the Ashen skeleton to definitely unlock by the end of this campaign, April 6th, 11 p.m. Eastern. That's where we are with that. Super cool, fantastic. This campaign has been a joy to like watch and see, and just so interesting to see how like people are buying this, the bumps, the process there. Getting to talk to everyone at Toylanta about it because the Four Horsemen are there. It was really cool, and to sit through the panel and just have where they added in a lot there. Now, the next thing, we have Beyithirr's Fury's silhouette here. And if we look at that silhouette real quick, like I can really look real quick at anything on in my life here. If we look at that silhouette, obviously, like they said, it's going to have Sir Benegar's pauldrons. That's the one piece on there. That's something that will not be seen again. But the rest of this, you can kind of tell it has like, was it the one of the Templar helmets where it has the side pieces up high on there. It's definitely got like the Valiant Knight body on there. You can kind of see in the lower legs kind of outline there. We can guess all day, but we got an idea of like how basically this will be built. They'll probably have some really cool belts in there, stuff like that. But one of the things during the panel that like caught my eye and made me want to talk a little bit about this was during that panel, Joe Vassapolo had where he was talking about Sir Benegar's paint scheme. Now, with Sir Benegar's paint scheme, he had where he said it was very inspired and based on and goes with that, goes with this character. The character he said that Sir Benegar's paint scheme was kind of based on there is Orin Steelhide. Orin Steelhide came out in like Mythic Legions, the original Kickstarter and stuff like that. I don't own one. It's been forever. Also was in All Stars 1. But I was like, okay, I need to refamiliarize myself with this, cool dwarf, stuff like that. But how does Orin Steelhide connect to Beyithirr at all? Looking at his biography, it says that he is from the tiny dwarven town of Emberdale. Beyithirr is a dragon. He comes from a dale called Emberdale. Embers, fire. Easy connection right there. That's why Sir Benegar has where he has the same paint scheme as Orin Steelhide, the Prince Orin Steelhide from the biography. And that's cool. Obviously, I'm going to lean towards Orin Steelhide may have been a former member of Beyithirr's Fury, or somehow, through, lineage, things like that. That's why that color scheme's there. Now, if we have where like if we can just go off this, just go up a little more. Xylonia's flock, a lot of the Beyithirr stuff has where it falls into this like earth, um, this natural woods color scheme, things like that. And then hearing that Orin Steelhide has where its paint scheme inspired Sir Benegar's, with Beyithirr's Fury, we can kind of infer that as well. Because just going off like Templar color schemes in here with Aetheron and everything, if the commander is one color, then the soldiers underneath that person either have a very similar color or completely different. But just going off this, because like Ornstein, great color scheme. I think that Beyithirr's Fury will either have potentially a similar color scheme to Faunus, or even better, because this like the biography kind of leans in this just a little. This is a lot of leaps in logic. I'll give you that. The Relic Keeper in Xylonia's flock, Thistlethorn. So Thistlethorn has dedicated himself to preserving the history of mythos, fascinated by ancient weapons and artifacts from an early age. That early age could be the age where the five pillars were known to everyone, things like that. But we'll see. But I think there's a really good chance that Beyithir's Fury will have the same kind of like color scheme as Thistlethorn. That's my shot in the dark, leap in logic guess on there. But right now we just have the outline. We got 6 days left. I want to find out what this guy looks like. I hope if like he doesn't unlock that we still have where we get like the rest of Beyithir's Fury. I'm excited for this. I've I finally made the decision that I'm gonna go ahead and like order the whole damn thing. Go through the shop payments there, do the 12-month payment thing because it's only 100 extra bucks to be able to have where I can pay it over 12 months, and it's like $60 a month after the first like wad. So it's it's doable, and after experiencing it again at Toylanta and just how much heart and just this is a passion project there, and I'm just like, you know what, if I order this right now I can justify not collecting as much through the rest of the year and saving money and then prepping for this. I can justify it then. But if you had where you got to see Beyithirr at Toylanta, let me know down in the comments below. If you had where you still want to see it, you need to go to Legionscon. Obviously, they'll have where they take this prototype Beyithirr. Because I mean, after the campaign, there's not really a good reason to cart it around to cons outside of New Jersey. There, like it's it's a very fragile prototype there. My understanding is like every time it's been moved, something has broken on it and needed to be repaired to preserve that display piece there. So this prototype, this paint master here even will, I know there's two of them, will be like on display at like the Four Horsemen studio from now on. And there's a really good chance. I mean, like, come on, at Legions Con, you almost have to be like, yeah, you got to show this thing off there because they have where they do those display cases. But who knows? This may be the last time you got to see Beyithirr outside of being able to go to the studio or Legions Con. So I hope you got to see it. If you haven't backed it, think about it. You got like 6 more days. It's super cool. And tell me what you think about Beyithirr's Furies. What's your predictions on the color scheme? What do you think of that silhouette? Do you think we're going to hit that 4,000 mark there? Because I definitely think we're going to hit the 3,000 mark. I'm hoping that those like other last minute people, the ones who've been waiting in the wings, have where they also push out here, and maybe by the skin of the teeth, a hope and a prayer, this campaign will have where it fully funds at 4,000 by 11 p.m. EST on April 6th. But let me know down in the comments what you're up to, what you think, all that jazz. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Later, guys.